Hi guys, my name is Jens. I'm here with my mom, Dr. Carla Demaray. What this video is going to be about is an introduction to her, and it's kind of an introduction to this whole series of videos that we're going to be doing on chiropractic and the different aspects of what she does. To get started, why did you choose chiropractic?
When I was introduced to chiropractic was when I was pregnant with my daughter, your sister. And my mom asked me to ride with her to the chiropractor. Our chiropractor was Uncle Art. He was a relative of ours, and he was 45 minutes away. So she wanted some company driving, and so I rode along with her. So I didn't know what a chiropractor was. I just was there for the ride, actually. And he adjusted my mom. Again, I didn't know what he was doing. He laid her on a table and did some things. But she swore by him. She always said that her headaches went away and her low back went away. But I didn't know what he was doing. So after he adjusted her, he asked me how I was feeling. And I was 8 months pregnant, so my back was all sore. I was 19 years old, so in pretty good shape. But he laid me down on the table and he did whatever he did, because he never explained anything. He just did it. And when I got off the table, I felt like I was walking on air. I felt so good. And at the time, I was going to school to become an RN, to go into the nursing program. But I thought, if I can make people feel this good, and I didn't feel badly to begin with, but the energy that came after the adjustment was so amazing that it was that one adjustment that changed me, and I wanted to become a chiropractor right then. So I stopped going through the nursing part, and I turned it to chiropractic. Although I had a brother who at the time said that I should go into computers. So I had a small foray into computer programming. The computers are not my thing. They are not till today. I do not like computers. So I went from the nursing program into the pre-chiropractic program, which was a big series of classes in science and biology and so forth. So that's how I got started.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what the schooling was like. How hard was it, or how was it compared to other things?
Well, the schooling was intense. So I already had, when I got going into the chiropractic college, that baby that I was pregnant with, I had her. So now I had a little toddler. And I was married, so I had to go to school part-time in order to get the prerequisites that I needed. But it was physics, it was chemistry, it was anatomy, it was everything that a pre-med student would do. And then there were accelerated classes that I had to take for chemistry, biochemistry, and so forth. And those were even more. They were packed into a small amount of time, a lot of studying and a lot of stress. And then I went into the chiropractic college, and I had to go on an interview to see if they would accept me into the chiropractic college. And I don't know where the words came from, but I said, listen, I'm going to be a chiropractor. I don't care if it's at your college or another chiropractic college, but if you want the best, you're going to have me come to this school. I was really cocky. I don't know where that came from, but at that point in time, they accepted me into the school. And by the way, I went back to all my professors because I had to have not resumes, but recommendations from my professors. And so every person who they gave me recommendations, I went back with a bouquet of flowers, and I gave them that because their recommendations are what got me into the college. So that was really exciting. Then when I went to college, it was year-round. It was on a trimester program, and so it was year-round with very short breaks, so 1 week to 2 week breaks. And it was intensive. We had anatomy, we had neurology, we had pathology. It was just really intensive. And sometimes, again, I was a mom, so I tried to be the mom, but I was blessed because I had my mom taking care of my daughter, and then my husband was very supportive. And but I remember coming home, we had midterms, and so there was midterms in every class, and one of the classes was anatomy lab. And the anatomy lab, there were 4 pages, front and back, in very small font of all of the anatomy that we needed to learn, plus the other classes that I had midterms in. And I remember going home that day and I like stopped breathing. I had to pull over to the side of the road and tell myself to breathe. I had so much anxiety, and it was truly a tense period of time. But when I got done with it, I felt like that was so worth it. Now I'd like to go back to school without the pressure of grades and learn some more. So I have always been enthralled in anatomy and physiology and how the body works. It's just truly amazing for me.
Tell me about how chiropractic has gone from when you first graduated, at least for you, all the way up until now. I mean, I know, being your son, you've gone from being in California to when you were in college to going out to North Carolina, and then we came back to California 15 years ago. So tell me a little bit about your journey as just being a chiropractor.
When I went to college, it was the Los Angeles College of Chiropractic, and each college of chiropractic has a different way of looking at chiropractic. They're not all the same. Again, I went to the Los Angeles College, and they opened in 1906. So chiropractic started in 1895, so about 11 years later. That's when my chiropractic college opened. But what they did is they took more of a medical approach to health. So we learned how to be doctors. They told us at the end of our education we would be able to be a country doctor and be able to treat everybody. Although we do not do drugs, we don't prescribe drugs, we don't do surgery, but we would be able to deliver babies and offer general health. So my chiropractic college was more medically based. When I went back to North Carolina, which was close to Palmer, which started it all, and then there was different life colleges, their philosophy was more on the body's ability to heal itself. And what we call that is the innate. And so I learned about the innate, but it was really hard coming from one college philosophy and going into the other. So I started listening to what they had to say. My mind started changing, and I realized that health comes from within, not from without. So we don't need to have things from the outside. If we start relying on things from the outside, like prescriptions and shots and so forth, that we're not relying on our inner body, our body's way of healing itself. So when I went to North Carolina, there was much more philosophy about the innate, about they called it above, down, inside out, that we are created to live on this earth symbiotically and stay healthy on the earth. We just have to allow the brain to talk to the body, and the brain has to talk to the body through the spinal cord and then the 26 spinal bones. So just like any wire, if the wire is crimped, you're not going to get as much nerve flow. So if the nerves are compressed, then you're not going to get nerve flow to the rest of the body, and then the body's not going to heal or not going to work as well as it could. So our job as chiropractors is to take that crimp out, which we call subluxation, and then the body can talk to itself. And the body will be able to heal and adapt to any other stresses. So that's what I learned when I was back east. Some chiropractors, they believe differently. Some chiropractors don't lay hands on the back. Some chiropractors are doing different energy work. But I kind of found my niche in knowing that I can adjust the spine, I use my hands, and allowing that nerve flow to go from the brain down into the body, and then the body can heal itself from the inside.
Okay, cool. How has your practice evolved now? What since North Carolina to California? What is it that you have incorporated? What are some new techniques or philosophies that you learned that you'd like to share?
All right. When I came to California, California is very progressive. So when I lived in North Carolina, we talked about how North Carolina was 10 years behind California in the progressiveness. So California is much more open. They're open to new ideas and so forth. So that, I think, helped me. One of the ways that I have changed the practice is that I went through continuing education classes, and my husband at the time had some problems with the left side of his stomach, and I couldn't even touch him. You know, hugging him and so forth, he would flinch because of the pain. And it went on for years, and you know, I tried to adjust him, and it didn't quite take the pain away. So I went to a seminar and found out that there are supplements that are whole food supplements that for him, it meant he had a digestive issue. And when I found the supplement that he needed, then the pain went away. The 4-year pain went away with this digestive enzyme. So then I started studying nutrition. And through the nutrition pathway, I learned about muscle testing or energy testing. So now I can put a supplement on the body and test your muscle to see if energetically you resonate with that supplement. And if you do, that's the supplement that you need, that your body can use to help heal itself. So now I've expanded my practice into nutrition. The other thing that I mentioned, that when I got started, I was pregnant with my daughter. And so after college, I decided I wanted to specialize in pregnant women. So I took extra classes to be able to adjust women who are expecting and then infants. So I am a fellow of the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. So I work on pediatrics. I also went to school to become a Bradley childbirth instructor. So I was helping women before their birth process to understand how the birth process works and make it more comfortable and less stressful as they went through the birth process. So that was exciting. So anything that's natural that I can do that will help somebody feel better, live a better life, that's what I'm excited about. And the last thing that I'm learning right now is it's called heart intelligence and heart math. And what that is, what we're talking about, or what the book is talking about now, is that we have intuitions, and that we know something is going to happen, or we will be thinking about a friend, and then all of a sudden they're going to be calling us, and it's like, wow, I was just thinking about you. Well, we're finding that the heart has intelligence, that it has a brain of its own, and when we can breathe and meditate and pray and listen to our heart intelligence, then things are going to happen for us a little bit easier without as much negative thought. So actually, negative thought will turn down the resonance of the heart, and so we can't think of how to make solutions or how to figure out things. But when we can be intuitive to our heart and allow our heart to inform our brain, then some of the decisions that we make are going to come much easier. It's kind of in the state of flow. When you're in that state of that everything is just working well, you might be working on a project and things are going smoothly. That's in a state of flow. That's the same state that we're talking about in this heart intelligence. So this is the new part that I'm excited about.
Super interesting.
Yeah, that now I learned about the energy when I was testing the nutrition. Now I'm learning about the energy and using our intuition to do life better, to do life a little easier.
As you guys can tell, you love educating. You throughout this whole video, you expanding on stories, and you're getting into all kinds of fun stuff. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect over these next few series of videos, and why you kind of chose to do it now.
Why I wanted to start these now is I do love teaching. I love explaining the human body, because the more I learn about it, the more excited I get. But a lot of people don't have the time to study this, and so what I want to do is I want to put it down in understandable short chunks so that you can get as excited about the body as I do. And when patients understand their bodies, it makes sense to them, and then they will do things that help maintain their health. So the reason why I'm doing this series of videos is because oftentimes when I'm in the office, I'm adjusting, we're doing the business of chiropractic, and I want to get to the heart, and this is the way I get to the heart of how the human body works, how chiropractic works. So in the next few series, I'm going to talk about how our immune system works, how strong it can be, when the nerve flow is working at 100%, then the body is going to be working at ease. We're going to talk about how the muscles work, how you get a subluxation. The subluxation is, again, that the joints that are not moving smoothly, that they're not getting their full range of motion, or they're stuck. How does that happen? How can you avoid it from happening? And how can you make your body a little bit stronger so it doesn't happen as often? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the innate intelligence. We're going to talk about the birth process and how, you know, it's a natural process that if we learn or we bring back what, you know, midwives already knew, how it's just going to be a little bit easier in that time of birth, what a special time that is. So there's going to be various subjects that we're going to talk on, and again, you know already that I like to talk. So any education that I think would be worthy of this time and of your time, that's what I'm going to talk about.
That sounds so fun. Thank you so much for sharing all of that stuff. That was really fun. We learned a lot about you. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if you guys want to see a video about a certain thing, if you're curious about a way that the body works or the immune system works, or maybe you're curious about nutrition, send us an email, frontdesk@demaraychiropractic.net. You can also call us at 707-455-8655. That is our phone number, right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. I still remember it. I'm happy. Until then, until our next video, bye guys.
Bye.